Hey Caps fans. So, we didn't really play too hot against the Montreal Canadiens last night. That pretty much goes without saying. It looks like the Caps' typical problems were exacerbated in this game. Primarily taking stupid penalties in the first period and letting up goals in the first without getting any. So the Habs scored two in the first. Both goals were caused by really bad rebound control and our lack of ability to clear the front of our own net. You could probably say that Holtby's rebound control was bad, but he was screening those first two goals. And because we were having trouble clearing the bodies in front of the net and clearing the puck from the rebound, they capitalized on the opportunities. And the Caps are no stranger to going down early in the game. 13 of the last 16 games we've given up the first goal. Not ideal, but we can come back from it. But very, very early on in the second period, the Habs score again. And again, it's because bad rebound control and not being able to clear the bodies in front of the net. When you give teams multiple chances like that, they're gonna score. It doesn't matter who the goalie is. We were just really, really bad at doing that last night. So after that third goal goes in, we pull Holtby, and he is pissed. We were letting up second chances left and right. We couldn't clear the front of our own zone, and we were playing like we were shorthanded. We collapsed in on our own zone even when it wasn't called for. I think what irked me the most is at the end of the first period, after the Habs had scored on the power play, we were still playing like we were shorthanded. We had collapsed into our own zone. We let the Habs set up the half ice on 5-on-5, which, why the hell are we doing that? We were letting them work the puck around the perimeter, getting shooting chance after shooting chance. About 4 minutes after the Habs score their third goal, we get our first. Jason Chimera gets a good backhand off of a rebound that bounces off of Condon's head and into the net. I'm thinking, all right, cool. We're making a comeback. We're only down by 2. The Caps have come back from that before. Grubauer had a great save on the penalty shot, and I was thinking maybe that momentum could push us to get a comeback. But only a few minutes later, Lars Eller comes into the zone, gives a saucer pass to Galchenyuk, and they go up 4-1 on us. And at this point, I start chugging my beer. All of a sudden, this game's starting to resemble our game against the Dallas Stars. So going into the third, we're down by 3. It sucks. It's definitely not something you want to see against a team like the Habs. But then little glimmers of hope start to pop up during this period. We're definitely getting scoring chances. We're starting to get bodies to the front of the net. And I wouldn't say we're getting better at controlling the front of our own zone, but we were definitely reducing the number of chances that the Habs could get. And then 7.5 minutes into the third, Orlov gets a nice goal from no angle. Seriously, he roofs it over Condon's shoulder like when he's coming in left-handed on the left side. Sweet, we're only down 2. And then 10 minutes later, with only 2:50 left, Burakovsky comes in and takes a shot which looks like deflects off the defenseman's stick and goes through Condon's 5-hole. And now we're only down by 1. So we pulled Grubauer, couldn't really capitalize on any opportunity, and lost 4-3 against the Habs in regulation. There are a few things that really scare me about the way we played last night. We're about 75% of the way through the season at this point. Playoffs are coming soon. We only have about a month and a half until the first round starts. From an outside perspective, they might say, oh, you guys have 44 wins in 59 games. You're on pace for a record season for your franchise. And I say, that's great, but if you look at our last 15 or so games, we're not winning by much. The wins are not as decisive as they should be, especially against some of the teams that we're playing against. We're getting pretty streaky, but at the same time, a lot of games we're only winning by 1 goal. And like I said before, you cannot give up the first goal in the playoffs and expect to come back every single game. Also, what happened to that brute style of defense that we started with in the season? Where every player was hitting like Orpik and every player was clearing the front of the net? Now it looks like we're letting guys sit in front of the net in front of Holtby or Grubauer without being touched at all. And Holtby is not the best with rebound control, so we really, really have to control that area. We have all of our starter Ds back, and we have 2 great depth defensemen with Chorney and Weber. So now we need to get our physical defense back because this is not working what we're doing right now. And the reason this is really starting to scare me is that we need to bring the playoff style of hockey in around this point in time. We need to start producing more on the power play. We need to stop taking stupid penalties in the first period. We need to control the front of our own net. And we need to stop getting scored on first. You all are Caps fans, so I'm not going to preach to the choir here, but we have a really bad track record with the playoffs. And with our current style of play, we will be lucky to get 2 rounds deep. We need to shake something up because this is not going to work out. On a positive note, we haven't really gotten blown out in a while. Our team is proving that they're capable of comebacks, which is definitely important. And our point production's coming from pretty much everywhere. We're not isolated to just one or two main goal scorers like we have been in previous seasons. And we've got two very, very talented top lines. So with all this pessimism comes a pretty good amount of optimism about the playoffs. I think maybe we might just be going through a bad streak. And if our bad streak is composed of mostly one-goal wins, then that's a pretty good bad streak. So keep your chins up, Caps fans. We still got 25% of the season left to go. I will see you guys this weekend after we take on the Minnesota Wild.